Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to yet another podcast episode, and today we're going to talk a little bit about social pressures and how various social pressures from school to social media, workplace pressure, even pressure from your parents, even can influence your life course. And I think, guys, before we start, please remember to subscribe. Please remember to turn on your post notifications. We've dropped last week a pretty interesting video on Andrew Tate also, if you want to go and check that out. It's pretty relevant now. But I think to start off with, social pressure, I think it starts with your parents ultimately, right?
Definitely. No, obviously most of your life choices are made because of your parents.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. Like if you, let's say for example, your parents are, heavy into school. Let's say they believe, the way to success is go to school, get a college degree,
Yes.
and be successful.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna push it down on you.
Yes.
And it's a social pressure, right? So
Correct. No, especially I see it with my brothers and my brother and my sister also. Your parents are like, you got to study hard, you got to do this, you got to study hard to be successful in life. And meanwhile, behind the scenes, you're thinking, am I really wasting my time here? Because something is not making sense.
This links back to our previous podcast, right? If you haven't flipped that switch, go check the previous podcast.
Yes, the switch, what we're talking about, go and check the previous podcast.
But if you haven't flipped that switch, you're going to be fine with it. You're going to be stuck in that reality of, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to follow social norms. I'm just going to go to college, work 9 to 5, retire at the age of 65. And that's happiness.
And that's supposed to be the ideal 2.5 kids, white picket fence life that your parents want for you. And they always tell you, like, you can do so much better than me, but then you just end up doing the same thing as them, and you end up in the same place.
90% of the time.
Yes, you end up, just conforming to their almost, it's scary.
Everyone has heard of the saying the 1%. The 1%, the rich people, the elites.
Yes.
And remember, there's 8 billion people on Earth. To be part of that 1% isn't as difficult as it sounds.
No, we've discussed it in multiple podcasts before, which is why you need to go and check out the previous podcast also,
definitely.
in order for this to make sense. But being the 1% may sound so. People are telling me, "Oh, it's so unrealistic."
Sure.
Yeah. Again, that reference. No one has told me that reference. So please comment down below. But anyway, people saying, "Oh, it's impossible." You're never gonna be that. You just stick to this. Just stick to what you're good with, school and academics, and getting good grades, and you'll be fine.
Dude, the scary part? If you make $500,000 a month, well, a year, you're part of the 1%. That's crazy. That's not even a lot of money.
No. And
just $500,000.
For interest's sake, I watched a video the other day of Elon Musk. He lost like how many $1 billion? Wow,
I think
what
it's
was
178 billion.
A guy Googled literally his net worth. He's still second richest person on earth.
That's crazy.
He lost 2 billion. 200. What was it?
178.
178.
So let's say 200.
Yeah, $200 billion approximately, and he's still ranked the second richest man in the world. How does that even work? It's scary.
The thing is, if you take, people underestimate the power of a billion, right? If you think of a millionaire, let's convert it to like seconds. A million seconds is about 12 days.
Yeah.
And I'm not perfect.
Yeah, let's go give or take. Yeah.
A billion seconds is about 32 years.
Yeah. It's scary.
It's a massive jump.
Yes.
People underestimate the power of billion. It's actually scary.
Yeah, it is scary. Now, and that's just to give an example of, people always think 1%, but like you said, $500,000 a year, and you're a part of the 1% of the population.
But if you want to be a part of the 1% of the 1%, you have to make like a billion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that, I think that is the real elite class. That 1% of the 1% is the
But
elite.
that's it. Do you think these people, the 1% of the 1%, follow social norms?
No.
Definitely.
They're completely the opposite of social norms. They, and it irritates me that people. I mean, if you could do good in school, like, it's good for you. It's a good achievement. Let's not get it twisted. Not everyone can score like 90s in physical science and mathematics. You have to have brains to do that.
Sure.
But listen, hey, don't be nasty. But anyway, you have to think to yourself, okay, I got this, these good grades, I've got a stable job, but there's a guy paying $1 million for a car. Why am I not with my brain power doing that?
Okay, imagine this. You've got science, you've got biology, you've got accounting, you've got the hard subjects, you've got good math, you've got IT, and you get 90s for all of them.
Yes.
You work yourself up to a massive position. You are the CFO of an accounting firm. You still make 60 grand a month. It's still not enough to buy that $1 million car.
Correct. Even if you save a few years, you're not going to even.
Maybe if you save for 5 years, you can buy it. But I mean, there's people spending it like it's
like it's nothing. A few
like
cents.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
It's a few cents. I walk into a shop, I see a nice Bugatti. I'm like, can you change the color on this?
just like it's
crazy.
child's play. Yeah, it's child's play. I'm not feeling this color. Give me this color.
None of those people are having. What do people call it? It's normal jobs.
No,
definitely not. They're CEOs of companies, or the owners of the companies, and people always think if you have a company, it needs to be massive. It needs to be this oil company or.
Yeah, it needs to be a Rockefeller, like John D. Rockefeller.
I'll get back to this point.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people, and this is the social influences, the social pressures we talk about. There are a lot of people on Instagram, I've seen it on YouTube, on TikTok, that tells you, you have to have passion for the product, otherwise you won't be successful.
Yeah.
Do you think the people that create dildos are passionate for it? Same with oil. You think the people...
I can't imagine you being passionate about oil. I'm sorry.
Exactly. It's the same with all the things. Don't get stuck on that. Don't just follow your passion. Follow the money. I mean, if you can make $2 billion from selling dildos, then fucking do it. Even if you're not into that shit.
I love that example. It's just so random, but it is. It's the complete truth. People, there are people dealing with oil, dealing with finances and anything. They're not necessarily passionate about it. What they are passionate about is making money. They're not passionate about the product necessarily.
I mean, look at our fitness company. We found success with it. We are passionate about it. But still, we've got other companies that we're not passionate. I'm not passionate about Reddit.
No.
Still, I've got a Reddit automation channel.
No, exactly. We're not, and we like YouTube. We're not per se. Let's say we're not passionate about YouTube. But
it's just our way to get our voice out there.
Yes.
But we're not passionate about it.
But then you think if I start this channel, it's all that I have to do is, it is effort, the recording and the editing, but it's still a passive income for something that you do not need to be passionate about.
Yeah.
You just need to have decent skills.
That's exactly the thing. Like the sheikhs in Qatar and all those places, they make billions from oil. You think they are passionate about oil? They've got oil on the
that oil painting, just the oil painting in their bedroom. Also,
definitely not. They're not passionate about it. They just saw opportunity and they took it. And I want you guys to scratch that idea. You don't need to be passionate about something. If you've got an idea to make yourself successful, even if it's selling crayons, just fucking do it. You don't need to be a billionaire from your first.
You're first business. Most likely you're not going to be a billionaire from your first 5 or 6 businesses.
But I promise you'll learn so much about business.
Yes.
From the first one.
And not necessarily, you don't even need to start a business per se. If you you see an opportunity to make money in forex trading, if you make money in do it. Start a YouTube channel. It's not necessarily a business, but it's like a job, quote unquote, a job. But with that uncapped potential of not,
there's no ceiling.
There's no ceiling.
We've discussed this over and over again. There's no ceiling with YouTube. There's no ceiling when starting a business. You don't get a capped salary of, let's say, 12k a month. You don't get a cap. You'll start off at maybe 2k a month, whatever.
Yeah.
But the thing is, eventually you can surpass that 12k. You can surpass 100k. You can
And as we said in previous ones, previous podcasts, that growth is oftentimes it's not linear; it's exponential.
Definitely exponential.
You would go like 2 to 4 to 8 to 16, and even it's
64.
yeah,
just keeps going.
it's insane. But I think now that you're talking about passions, the school system also it's
Passion
weird. Yeah, they don't even tell you to they give you a set of subjects that you need to study. And they're saying that, okay, if you're good in this, so do this. You're good in visual arts, so do this.
We actually discussed this in our previous podcast, right? But we didn't go into details. I honestly feel, because we said you can't fix the school system. We said it in the previous podcast.
Yeah.
But I feel there is one way to improve it, and that is to, instead of giving a learner or student or whatever you call them these days, instead of giving them a choice in grades 10, grade 10 you decide on your subject. I think instead of giving them a choice, you have to give them all the subjects. I know it's going to be fucking crazy, but I feel no grade 10 learner has the capacity in their brain to decide what they want to do in the future.
Exactly.
I mean, in grade 10 you have to decide what you're going to do, so you have to pick subjects around that.
I mean, I think personally, I was like maybe 20 or 21 when I first realized,
it's crazy.
Like, what am I doing? Is this really what I wanted to do?
It's crazy, and that's exactly what I'm saying. So I feel if you can, let's say they change the subjects to, let's say there's 12 subjects in total, with your languages and math included, and you give them all the subjects. Yeah, it's going to be hard on them, obviously.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of work, a lot of pressure, time consuming, but yeah.
That said, at least the person will know what they want to do.
Yeah.
Because at the end of matric, grade 12, your final year, I don't even know what it's called overseas, but
Yeah, it's like senior year, I think.
At the end of your senior year, you need to decide what you want to do. And now suddenly you only have 3 subjects. Now you have to do something in those.
Yeah.
And most of the time it's not something you want to do.
No. And the scary thing is, in school they never teach you really how to survive in society.
They don't teach you anything. They teach you how to be an employee, and that's it.
Yes, but they teach you, for example, they teach you accounting and how to do accounting, but they don't teach you how to allocate your money, how to spend your money, what percentages
how to do taxes.
Correct. That is the fundamental flaw.
And that's just with accounting. We can go to any subject.
Yeah.
I mean, look at science.
Yeah.
They teach you everything.
Newton's
laws.
Yeah, Newton's
everything.
laws, the chemistry rules, laws, everything. But how do you apply that in a laboratory setting?
Oh, well, even to your daily life.
Yeah, that also.
But yeah, you're actually right in a lab setting.
I was like, it's for example, when I walked into my practicals, I was like, okay, I know I've learned how this piece of equipment works, but nobody has actually told me how to physically use the piece of equipment. That's such a scary thing that kind of relates to the whole life, the whole teaching you how to survive.
I've never actually thought of it like that.
Yeah, it's scary, and it's the same thing with life. They teach you, okay, this in this document. You do this in this document. You do this. This is the format. But how much money?
I mean, on that note, I studied computer science and everything. The thing is, back to that. You have IT in school. I think we did Delphi. I can't even remember.
Yeah.
I walk into a IT university.
Yes.
And everything I've learned in school is bullshit. I have to start over.
Yes.
That was crazy.
Yes.
Like, we studied Delphi and suddenly we're doing C# and Java and JavaScript and HTML.
You was like, what in the Greek is this?
What's this?
Yeah, exactly.
And all that knowledge you built up in school doesn't mean shit.
It's like in life when you do your first tax return, it's like, what the hell is going on here? I don't know what I'm doing. But it's the one thing if your parents teach you, sure. But oftentimes that's not the case. You have to do it yourself.
And remember, a lot of people don't have educated parents.
No.
And when I say educated, I don't mean you've got matric. When I say educated, I mean life education.
Yes.
It's you're educated in life.
They don't have life savvy. They don't know how
skills.
to work with money. We know so many adults, people our age, adults older than us, that don't know. They spend money on the stupidest things.
When the salary comes in, it just
it goes immediately to the most absurd things.
When it's like the 20th of the month, can I please borrow 200, 300. No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, because you're supposed to, even if you, man, you can make like, let's say 4 or 5k a month, right? That's not a lot of money, but have the knowledge to or have the savvy to just control yourself, and
I mean,
so that you can survive.
If you make 4k, let's stick to 4k. There's 4 weeks in a month. Split it. 1k every single week. That's what you can spend.
Yes, and it's not easy. You're gonna have to maybe go some days without eating fancy food, or. But please have the savvy to control your habits, and that's where the social once again, keeping up with the Joneses, social pressures. I got to do better than my neighbor. I got to do better than you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I feel there's a lot of pressure on a person to be more successful than your peers.
Yeah. No, for sure.
I mean,
especially our age, it's crazy.
The thing is, as soon as you go sit down with someone, let's say me, you, and we take out a few girls or a few guys for drinks, and there's always that one guy or one girl that, but look at my new phone, look at my new car.
Yeah,
it's social pressure,
and they have to. These people posting on Facebook, like, I bought my new Ford Figo. I was like, bruh. Listen,
I'm sorry, I drive a Mercedes, but I wouldn't post it on any
site. No, but
no.
I mean, why is it that you? I mean, good for you, but why not keep it quiet, keep it in the back, and then let people see.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I've got goals.
Yes.
So if you post your Ford Figo and that's your goal in life,
well,
congratulations, but I'm disappointed.
Yes.
The thing is, I drive a Mercedes and you'll never see it on any social media. No. If I drive a McLaren, when I drive a McLaren, you'll see it everywhere. That's just.
but it's not. Yeah, it's not like you're just taking photos of the car and post. Yeah. It's so superficial thinking. I can't even fathom. But that's relating back to the whole topic of social pressures. All right, so drifting back onto topic, I think the biggest place where you'll find all of these social pressures all combined into one is Instagram, Facebook.
No, social media.
Social media, definitely.
No, especially like TikTok and Instagram. You see all these reels telling you this is how a man should be, this is how a woman should be, and it's the most bullshit I've ever seen.
Yes.
Honestly, the thing is, just be you. If you don't fucking drive around in a McLaren and you are happy with it, then don't.
Then you are happy with it, exactly. Don't let someone.
But if you are like me and you fucking want to, want to drive around in fancy cars, you want to.
It almost makes you mad to see that reels. Like,
dude,
why?
I hate it.
Yeah, I hate it.
And
as with a passion.
I feel, to a certain extent, the social pressures from Instagram can be both positive and negative.
Correct. Yeah.
The thing definitely. Is, if you've got a mindset like us, if that's a switch is flipped, and you see a guy in a Bugatti or a Lamborghini or a Ferrari,
you're like,
and you see the Rolex, and you see the mansions, and you see all the hot girls, and you see all those stuff.
Yeah.
The thing is, that's positive towards us because we actually get angry.
You get frustrated, you get angry because you're like, okay, how is this man doing this, and how am I still where I am?
Exactly. The thing is, it pushes us to be better. It pushes us to reach that.
Yes.
But if you've got the normal person mindset, it actually it's negative.
It's negative because it's trying to place all this pressure on you and telling you you're not worthy. You're not a worthy man because you're not doing.
But that's it. With the correct mindset, everything can be positive. Even the disturbing stuff. It can still be positive because you but I want to be better.
Yeah.
And that's why I highly urge people to flip that switch.
And I think sometimes where it also gets negative is where you see these people, how I made $2,000 in 1 hour in a day. I was like, bro, really? I mean, you might have struck it lucky one time, and now you're thinking, okay, this is a system to make $2,000
what they don't tell
a day.
It's the same with the drop shipping. You'll see drop shipping
everywhere. Literally, it's everywhere.
The same with it. Look, I made 200 grand profit.
Yeah.
Yes, but you spent 190 grand on ads. So
yeah. Exactly. They don't
tell you behind the scenes.
That's the negative one, and now you're thinking, oh, if I'm starting a drop, you start the drop shipping, you make one sale. And now you're thinking, okay, I'm a failure because this guy made $2,000.
The thing is, especially that get rich quick
Yeah.
videos you see a
Yeah.
lot on
That is what I
Instagram.
hate. That is what I despise.
Make $200 an hour a year. Don't trust any of those videos. None of them works.
No.
Trust me.
We've tried.
And the thing is, I've actually experimented.
You
with
had
it.
a drop shipping company.
I had it for 3
yeah,
years.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I didn't do bad. I just didn't.
It's not the level you
No, it's
expected
bullshit.
it to be.
It's
Yeah.
bullshit. And the thing is, I'm actually thinking about, on IT and Global, this channel, testing some of this stuff for people and showing them how it's a scam.
Yeah,
Like,
that is actually very good.
I think perhaps let us know if you want us to
Yes,
do that.
yes.
We can test some of those get rich quick schemes, and we're going to show you and tell you why it's not going to work.
Yeah.
And also we'll give you a hint on how it might work, because we've tried everything and we've had success with some of it. So
But some of it, most of 90% of it is absolute bull.
so let us know if you want to see something like that.
Yeah, it's actually because people are always looking for extra income streams, and most people are they see this video on TikTok. I do this, and you'll
Actually,
make $200
let's do this. All of you have seen some of the ways to make money online. Send me the link.
Yes.
I'll analyze it and I'll tell you why it's not going to work or why it's going to work and how you can make it work.
Yes.
I think that's a good
actually,
idea.
yeah, that's actually a very good idea. But I think, so social media, we talked about, the negative social, and you're saying there's a positive side as well. So, like people, but the criteria is that you shouldn't be brainwashed. Or do you think you can turn it around? Do you think you can flip that mind switch, that switch around with seeing, for example, people, being successful, driving all these cars? Do you think that kind of can flip the switch for you as well?
I mean, I think this links a lot back to our previous podcast. Like I said, I honestly feel every person on earth should flip that switch, get out of the matrix, chase their dreams. I mean, if I see a picture of a guy in a Lamborghini, I'm not, he's just rich.
It can't happen to me because I'm just
I look
average.
at it and I think,
Yes.
fuck, that's me in a year.
Yeah, exactly. That's where you need to flip the switch. But I mean, we talked about and social pressures. If we can sum this up, it starts with your home, your parents. Starts with your home. It goes on towards school, where it's further indoctrinated into you, and then you end up leaving school, going to college, and then you end up in a 9-to-5 job where you're thinking, what did I do with my life?
Yeah, and the problem, like I mentioned in a previous podcast, most people only flip that switch at the age of 40, 50, and then it's too late.
Then I would, if I'm 40 and 50, I know it's still technically young, but if I'm 40 and 50 now, I'm sitting there, I will have a midlife crisis if I realize that. I was like,
that's why most people have midlife crisis.
Because they're suddenly, I spent these 20-30 years studying, conforming to all these social pressures and social norms, and now I'm stuck where I don't want to be.
I mean, look at Colonel Sanders. He started KFC at the age of 65.
65, that's insane.
But I mean, you're never gonna...
Imagine he started it earlier.
Yeah, you are never gonna have that pleasure of the money.
No.
So...
No, because you can't enjoy the money. Now, you're old, you can't really enjoy the money like you're supposed to enjoy it.
And don't get me wrong, I don't think 65 is
No,
old,
not at all,
but 20 years young.
Yeah, 20 years, exactly. But ladies and gentlemen, I think, please, do your best. Follow your gut, follow your mind. Do not conform to all of these social
if you've
pressures.
got any questions, if you want any advice, I promise you, we've tried everything. We've done everything.
We're still trying new things to this day.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
And we don't know everything, unfortunately.
No,
not yet.
You can't. No. Yeah,
I'll tell you when I do. But just leave a comment, ask us, and I promise you, I'll personally respond to you, and I'll even make a video about it, and help other people as well, because that's the main reason for our channel, is to help other people grow.
It's motivation, bro. It's motivation to guidance to get out of the matrix. Join us on our journey out of the matrix, to help you, to help us. We help each other on this channel. But if you enjoyed this video, please, you gotta share it, you gotta like it, you gotta comment.
And leave a sub.
Yes, please leave a sub. It takes you 1 second, not even 1 second. It takes you 1 second to smash that subscribe button and turn on the notifications bell. We'll see you in the next